Short introduction. I'm Marco Dhh. I've been doing things for the Italian internet since the late 90s. I'm also a Debian developer, the Linux distribution. I wrote the with command that all Linux users use, and I'm a Perl programmer. CWeb is a cloud infrastructure company and also a data center operator. We have 4 data centers in Italy, 2 in Milano, 2 near Rome, and a few years ago we created DHH, which is a company listed on the Milano Stock Exchange, which invests in cloud infrastructure company and data center providers in the emerging European markets. So we have sister companies in Switzerland, Slovenia, Croatia, Serbia, and Bulgaria. The clicker is not working. Okay. Let's start from the basics. What is the internet? It is a group of independent and interconnected networks. They have technical and commercial agreements that allow them to interoperate, exchange data, and allow every network to reach every other. Networks use the BGP protocol to exchange which IP networks they are responsible for. When networks connect, they use this protocol so that one network says to the other, I'm willing to accept traffic on this connection for these networks, and likewise does the peer network. There are various types of possible interconnections. There are multiple commercial agreements possible. I may have a customer so that they pay me to use my own network to reach the rest of the internet. Or we have peering partners so that we agree to exchange the traffic for our own networks and the traffic of our own customers. Maybe one of the peers pays the other, maybe not, this depends. Or else there is what is called transit. I am somebody else's customer, and I pay them so that they give me transit to reach the rest of the internet. The peering is a technical and also a commercial agreement which governs the interconnection of networks. This way, they can exchange their own and their own customers' traffic. It is a bilateral relationship between the two peers. It does not replace transit, because even if you have many peers, unless you are one of the very few tier 1 networks, then you still need somebody to give you transit to reach the rest of the internet. It can be informal, with technical people just agreeing to interconnect, or it can be regulated by a contract. Usually, if there is money involved, then there is a contract. We classify peering from a financial point of view in settlement-free peering when no money is exchanged, because both networks agree that peering is actually mutually beneficial for each of them. Or else it could be paid peering. One of the network wants to establish a peering relationship with another one to exchange traffic, but the other network does not feel to gain a benefit from this. They believe that their traffic is so much valuable that they can persuade somebody else to give them money. And this is what is called paid peering. On the other hand, not all networks are the same. Not all networks are equal. Even if some networks are very important because they have a lot of users or a lot of servers, this may be a significant market power so that a regulator can force them to peer settlement free as an antitrust remedy to prevent them from using their customers to actually influence other markets. From a technical point of view, there is public and private peering. Public peering happens on an internet exchange. All the networks connect to the exchange platform and exchange their traffic mediated by the exchange platform. Or else, private peering, it is a direct connection. How to choose each method? It really depends on economics, on how much traffic you are going to exchange. Usually, smaller networks find public peering more economically appropriate to their needs. After they grow and they start exchanging a significant quantity of traffic with another network, they move that specific peering relationship to private. Public and private peering and paid and settlement-free peering are totally orthogonal issues. One does not influence the other usually. Why peer? Because it improves the quality of your own network and of your own services. By keeping local traffic local, so in the same city, in the same country, you get a lower latency, and also you avoid the jurisdictions of other countries. When also, by avoiding what Paul Vixie calls other people's networks, if you establish a direct connection to a network, if there are issues with this interconnection, whether the traffic from them to you and the other way, you can directly speak with the other network. So this way you have a higher reliability, and also you can more easily control how the traffic flows. When you have many interconnections, it is common to want the traffic to go some way or the other for technical reasons to improve the quality. So if you have a direct interconnection, it is easier to manage this. How to interconnect with another network? Of course, you can start by having dedicated optical fiber circuits from the data center of one network to the data center of another network, or the central offices, if they are telcos. This is simple, but conceptually simple, but a bit expensive. There are other options. Data centers have what are called meet-me rooms, which are the places where many carriers arrive with their own fiber, and this allows to directly interconnect with many other networks in the same place, and also internet exchanges. Each network may choose one or also multiple kinds of interconnections, depending on the economics and on the technical requirements. But what is actually an internet exchange? The bare minimum for an internet exchange is a simple Ethernet switch. You turn on a switch, connect all the networks that are interested in peering there. They will speak BGP with each other. Well, they will speak BGP with the other networks that they want to peer with, because it's not mandatory to peer with all the networks present at an internet exchange. And that's it. You have created an internet exchange and you are peering. Then you can add more features. You can have multiple switches because maybe you need more capacity, you need redundancy, or you just want to extend the internet exchange to multiple data centers. Maybe in a city there are many data centers where operators are connected to, and you want to be able to peer with all their customers, not just the one in the data center when you are in. So by interconnecting multiple switches, you create a distributed internet exchange, and This way you have a wider reach. You can add route servers, which are an optimization. Instead of each network establishing a BGP connection with each other, they all connect to the route servers, and this allows big internet exchange to scale more. Then you can add monitoring to create graphs to figure out if there is packet loss, if there are issues with the connections. Some exchanges have their own data centers. In Italy, this is common for historical reasons, but I usually do not recommend it. I recommend that data centers do the business of data centers and internet exchanges do the business of internet exchanges. Also, an internet exchange creates a community of operators. Many companies will find that this is a way to know and to establish also personal relationship and business relationship among themselves. It is customary for internet exchanges, at least in Europe, to organize meetings maybe once or twice per year. And operators can get there and share ideas and also have technical discussions and business discussions. Public peering is convenient because multiple networks connect to the internet exchange instead of having to connect to each other on a direct dedicated connection. This allows some optimizations because you use a single router port or a group of router ports to connect to multiple networks. So even if you are exchanging a few hundred of megabits with another network, you can use a 10 gigabit port and aggregate multiple networks on this port. This saves a lot of costs. On the other hand, internet exchanges usually are businesses or are consortiums that need to recover their costs. So anyway, they have fees to connect to them. And at some point, when there is a lot of traffic towards or from a specific peer, it makes more sense from a financial point of view to establish a direct connection. But this does not mean that it is needed to completely leave the internet exchange. You just move some part of the traffic to a private connection. What about the non-benefits of peering? In developed markets, nowadays, it's not really a financial issue anymore. In the past, 20 years ago, in Italy, but generally in Europe, in the US, IP transit was very expensive, 10,000 times, 20,000 times more expensive than it is now. At this point, IP transit is not a very good business. The margins are really, really thin. So, yes, you have to pay for transit, but it's not so much, it's not such a big expense when compared to all the other costs of an internet company. On the other hand, I will admit that I have no idea of the Tunisian market, of how it works, and what are the costs. Maybe in Tunisia it still makes more financial sense to use an internet exchange, not just for technical quality of service reasons, but also for financial reasons. Other benefits of internet exchanges are that they tend to attract internet infrastructure. So root name servers, TLD name servers. I think that you have one at the Tunisian IXP also. Caches and CDNs, Akamai, Cloudflares, and generally all the big content sources, Netflix, YouTube, and so on. They also attract IP carriers and transit providers, because if a data center hosts an internet exchange, the internet exchange will attract customers. Customers will attract other carriers, and this creates a beneficial effect and a critical mass. And also, internet exchanges, it is proven that they create communities. The people at the internet exchanges meet and create technical, personal, and business relationships. This is a very quick view of the Italian internet exchanges, starting from the mid-90s to today and the future ones. In the beginning, there were just a few in Milan and Rome, which are the main cities for internet business in Italy. And then they started appearing in more and more and more cities. An interesting case is Bari. In 2006, our friends from Namex, the Internet Exchange of Rome, created an exchange there. It did not work. It was too early. There were not enough internet providers in the area that could connect to the exchange. So after a few years, it was shut down. And then it was established again a few years ago. Now it's close to a submarine cable landing station. So it's working better now. Let's have a quick look at the situation here. I am not familiar at all with the market, so I try to educate myself with the usual way, Google. And I found out that there has been an IXP in Tunisia for a long time. It started as a transit provided by the incumbent, to which all other operators had to connect because it was the only way to have IP transit in the country. Then, after the Arab Spring Revolution, it became a neutral platform. Now there are also foreign companies like Facebook and Akamai. I have found traces of the internet of a second IXP, not in Tunis like the existing one, but in another city. I'm not sure if it actually ever existed, if it was only announced. If you know more, then please let me know later. I suppose that the large telcos also have private interconnection among themselves. They usually do. Let's have also a quick comparison with a few other countries. In Italy, we have 18 internet exchanges and growing in a lot of big and less big cities. Some are small. Some of these exchanges have just a few peers. But still, if somebody found useful to create an internet exchange and connected to them, then it means this thing in itself means that it makes sense for an exchange to exist. An exchange does not need to be big. It needs to serve a purpose for the members that are connected. A few other countries, quite a few internet exchanges in Great Britain, many of them in the south. France has a lot of internet exchanges as well, mostly in the big cities. Spain, just 4 in the 2 major cities. Why? It's mostly because of where the data centers are and where the major internet businesses are. Other issues that may be interesting in this discussion are what is the cost of local connections when compared to the cost of international capacity. In some countries, in-country circuits are expensive. It may be less expensive to take your capacity to some foreign city where there is a well-developed market. This usually means that there is not a lot of competition in the internet industry in the country. I'm not familiar with Tunisia. Again, I don't know if this is the case, if it has been in the past, how it works now. Please educate me. And also, there is an interesting issue because Tunisia is in a very specific place in the Mediterranean, and it is very close to a lot of passing submarine cables, just like Italy actually. Quite a few cables land in Sicily, a few land in Tunisia, a few new ones are being built right now and will come in service next year. But what about connecting to the neighboring countries in Africa? Is there are there fiber routes terrestrial? Are they not? Are they expensive? Is it better for Tunisia to get internet access from the neighboring countries or from Italy, or go all the way to Marseille? Please let me know if you know about this. By the way, an interesting development is that thanks to the most modern optical technologies, nowadays you can have much longer fiber spans without the need for an amplifier in the middle. And this means that you can build much cheaper cables without amplifiers between Tunisia and Sicily. Is there enough capacity to Tunisia at this point? Is more needed? I don't know. If you have any question, please let me know, just ask. Aussi en français.
Italy is very developed market, and like internet is very nice there. Lots of data centers, and if I compare Italy to Germany, also Germany is very developed, many data centers, internet is excellent, and let's lot of data centers. But if you compare, let's say, Italy and Germany, compare the data centers websites, usually they are very old. I don't know why. In Germany, it's like, I don't know, a culture that many websites are really old-fashioned. And in Italy, we also support some companies in Italy, and also compare that also websites are very old-fashioned, but internet is very developed. Can you just maybe say some notes here?
I'm not a marketing person, but I can take a guess. Usually, people that are shopping for a data center know where to find them, and they have a lot more things that need to be evaluated than just the presentation on the website. The market for data centers, yes, is big. There are a lot of competitors, but usually it's not huge. So you can have a few data centers to choose from because of various requirements, the location, how much power you need, which carriers you need to connect to. So, okay, I think that there is no big reason to invest in refreshing the website every few years, because your customers will find you anyway, then will just speak to you, because often the complexity of a data center is hard to express in just a website. Yes, you can you can explain how many power generators do you have, how many carriers do you have, but customers that are going to buy colocation will usually want to take a visit first anyway.